Silhouette offers a huge variety of tools and blades for you to use in the cameos, the portraits, and the curios. The problem comes in when you are not sure which blade to use in which carriage and on which machine. We're going to go over all of that today because I've had several requests for this information over in the Facebook group. Hi, I'm Brenda Lambert. I'm a TJC licensed instructor for Silhouette. You found your way to Silhouette Success, where we try to cover all of the latest tips and tricks and tutorials on all of the Silhouette machines. There is a lot of information in this video today, so if everyone is ready, let's do this. We're going to start on the Silhouette America website and look at their blades and tools compatibility chart. Scrolling through, you'll notice that the tools are separated into 4 categories: Type A, B, C, and power tools. Type A tools fit in the older model machines. We're talking the original Cameo through to the Cameo 3, the Portrait 1 and 2, and the original Curio. Next up is tool type B. These fit in the number 1 carriage on the Portrait 3 and 4, the Cameo 4 and 5, and the Curio 2. Type C tools are used in the 2nd carriage of the newer machines, and the new power tools are used in the 2nd carriage of the Cameo 5, the Curio 2, and the Portrait 4. Okay, now that we have talked about how Silhouette classifies the blades on their website, let's go through the basic functions of each and try to break this down just a little bit more. The majority of users tend to cut adhesive vinyl, HTV, cardstock, copy paper, that type of thing. All of those things can be cut with the auto blade. This is the most popular blade for the Silhouette machines. It does auto adjust. It taps in that little hole, and then the red line in the blade moves to the setting that's specified in the software. So once this is put in your machine, all you have to do is change your settings in the software, and it takes care of everything else for you. Now, there are manual blades that work just like the auto blade, except for that you adjust the depth yourself before you put it in the machine. Now, this one is an older blade. This blade is a type A blade, but if you use the adapter, you can still use it with the newer machines. So this is what the adapter looks like. You just simply open it up, set the blade down inside there. You can see the grooves and the ridges, they all fit together. Snap it shut, and then it goes in slot 1 of your blade carriage. To adjust this particular blade, you need the little Silhouette tool. You just place it over the white cap and turn it. There is a red line on this one as well, so you can see what depth your blade is at. All right, so let's continue on with the adapters now. We're moving on into more of the specialty type tools. The adapters do come in a set of 4. I'm missing my white one, but that's okay. This one is for the regular blade. The gray is for the deep cut blade. The white is for the old style craft blade, which I'm missing. And this one goes with the sketch pens. Now, if you want to use Silhouette sketch pens in the new machines, you do need this adapter set. They came in the box with the Cameo 4. They did not come in the box for the Cameo 5. But these work the same way. You open it up, slide your pen in there, and then snap it shut. Now you'll notice that it has this magnetic strip on the back. This is what tells the machine what tool you are using. Now, as far as sketching and drawing with the machine goes, I personally like the pen adapter more than the sketch pen adapter. This pen adapter comes with 3 different collars. There's a small, a medium, and a large, plus this little cap that is used to measure the depth. So you can take pens, markers, pencils. You can use quite the variety of writing utensils with this adapter. You take the collar. I'm going to go with the medium one for this. It is on there. I don't know if you can see it or not. It is marked with an M, and you screw that into place just a little bit. Place your pen or marker inside there, and it comes out the bottom. That's going to be way too deep. So again, we use the little cap to adjust it. Just put the cap on there and then finish tightening it down. You don't want to over tighten these. I've cracked more than one set and then they are completely useless. So just tighten them enough to where the pen is not going to move around. Take the little cap off and you are ready to put this into carriage 1 and start drawing, sketching, coloring, whatever. Okay, so those are your options for sketching with the Silhouette machines. That can be done on the Portrait, the Cameo, or the Curio. The next thing we're going to get into is the craft blades. Now I have the 3mm craft blade here, and this one goes into carriage 2. The 2mm craft blade goes into carriage 1. You need to adjust these manually, and you can see all of the numbers down here, and you simply twist to adjust to the setting you need. You can see when it is pushed out that this blade is quite hefty. There is a lot of cutting area there as compared to the auto blade, which is quite a bit smaller. Now the craft blade is going to be used for thicker, denser materials. Think chipboard, craft foam, acetate, that kind of thing. Anything that's going to be a little bit more difficult to cut, you want to head to the craft blade. You want to be aware though that when you are using the craft blade and the rotary blade, that you're going to end up with hooks and loops in both the send panel where it shows your cut lines and on your material. It does actually cut the hooks and loops. It normally does not interfere with your actual design, but it's something you want to be aware of. Next, we're going to talk about the rotary blade. Again, you do need to turn the little cap here to expose the blade. This also goes in to carriage 2, but the rotary blade is used for mostly cutting fabrics. You can cut cotton, wool, felt, that kind of thing. And it does not need to be stabilized to use the rotary blade. You just put the fabric on your mat and get to cutting. Now, if you want to use stabilized material, something like heat and bond on the back of your material, if you're going to use it for more like an applique, you can get that done with the auto blade. So stabilized fabric is the auto blade. Fabric that is not stabilized is the rotary blade. Now, another specialty tool that I do not have in my collection is the punch tool. I do plan on getting that, however, because the punch tool makes small holes in your vinyl in all of the pieces that are supposed to be weeded out. So if you're somebody that has a hard time seeing cut lines in your design when it's time to weed them, that might be something to consider for you. And when I do end up getting the punch tool, I will put a video out on that so you can decide if it's something you want or something you want to skip. Now let's move on to the newer tool collection. I'm going to start out with the leather punch tool because that is one that I do not have. Again, it is on my list, but I have not purchased it yet. The leather punch tool comes with a variety of different tips, and it is to punch holes in regular leather or faux leather. So if you do a lot of leather working, that's something you're going to want to grab. You might find it useful. Next up, I want to talk about the heat foil pens. When you purchase the heat foil pen set, it does come with 2 different pens, and they are different sizes. There is a fine tip and a wide tip. These tools go into carriage 2. On the back, you can see that it has the magnetic strip so that the machine will recognize which tool you're using. And it also has these prongs here. These prongs plug right into the power outlet on the second carriage of the new machines. So you just set the power tool right in the carriage and press down on it. Now it is plugged in. You want to push in the tab so that it is secure. It's not going to move all around when you're trying to use it. And this will be ready to go. The heat pens you do turn on in the software, but I wanted to start with the heat foiling set because it can be used with all 3 of the new machines. It can be used with the Portrait 4, the Cameo 5, and the Curio 2. So if you have any of those machines and you enjoy card making, you're going to want to consider this set. The set comes with the 2 pens, a roll of gold foil, a roll of silver foil, and a roll of the silhouette masking tape. Now let's move on to the embossing tools. These are used to emboss or deboss cardstock or paper. You get 2 different tools in the set. Again, you have the fine tip and the wide tip. These are used in Carriage 2 as well. They are not powered, and these can only be used with the Cameo 5 or the Curio 2. The Portrait does not support these. If you are going to grab the embossing set, you want to grab an embossing mat as well. And last but certainly not least, we have the Power Engraver. And I did save this for last because it only works with the Curio 2. When you purchase the engraving tool, you're also going to want to grab the debris tray. This makes a mess when it is engraving. There's a ton of dust and debris, and you do not want that getting in your machine. But also, this involves a lot of pressure. You don't want it to damage your electrostatic bed. It's very expensive to replace the bed. You want to keep it in good shape. There is the magnetic strip and the power prongs. And this does make quite a bit of noise when you're using it. It's kind of like a Dremel noise. You can see the little bit on there, and you can use this to engrave on acrylic or metal sheets or even silver clay. Hopefully that's cleared up any questions you may have had. If I've left anything out, please be sure to let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to answer all of the questions as soon as they come in. For more in-depth conversations, you can head over to the Facebook group. It is under Silhouette Success, and I'll link the group and all of the blades and tools that I talked about in the description below. Now, go create something amazing, and I'll see you in the next video.